What if almost everything women over 60 believe about their appearance, confidence, or daily habits is based on old, incomplete ideas? What if attracting attention, especially from men in your age group or even younger, has far less to do with beauty, makeup, or body type than anyone ever told you? And what if certain colors, worn by older women for centuries, are not just flattering, but scientifically linked to attention, memory, and emotional response? The strange part is that most women already have hints of this power in their closet, but they have no idea what those colors are really doing or why men notice them instantly. So don't look away, because the subtle clues begin early. But the full truth won't appear until much later in this story. To understand these stunning colors, you have to look at aging science, neurology, and even U.S. behavioral data. Researchers like Dr. Bevel Conway at the National Eye Institute discovered that aging eyes interpret certain colors differently. Meanwhile, psychologists studying attraction found that color perception changes with age, hormones, and social cues. And in long-term surveys like an HANES and the National Social Life, Health, and Aging Project, millions of Americans over 60 reported that their clothing choices influenced how others treated them, even in medical settings. But here's where the twist appears. The colors men respond to in women over 60 aren't the same colors that work in someone's 20s or 30s. Age changes visibility, emotional resonance, and the subconscious signals people send without saying a single word. To understand why, we need to go back to the origins of the issue: early adulthood. In their 20s and 30s, most women choose colors based on trends, compliments, or work dress codes. They rarely think about long-term expression. According to U.S. consumer data, younger adults gravitate toward black, neutrals, and muted tones for simplicity and professionalism. This becomes a habitan unconscious default. But this habit builds the first crack in the timeline: the loss of intentional color identity. Women who keep repeating these early adulthood choices later in life often blend into the background, regardless of how vibrant they are on the inside. Then something subtle, almost invisible, begins in the 40s. This is when color perception actually changes biologically. Research from ophthalmology departments across the U.S. shows that by age 45, the lenses of the eyes gradually yellow, reducing the brightness of blues and greens. At the same time, natural skin undertones shift as collagen decreases. Yet most women continue wearing the same shades they used in their 30s. This mismatch creates an unintended effect. The colors that used to highlight them now mute them. The few women who adapt, switching to warmer blues, clearer reds, or richer tones, unconsciously set the foundation for later irresistibility. But most ignore the change, unaware that the quiet shift in their 40s is the turning point. After 65, the shift becomes even more dramatic, though it often goes unnoticed. Social engagement patterns change. According to American aging surveys, many women report fewer outings, fewer opportunities to dress with intention, and more reliance on comfortable, familiar clothing. But here's where the story deepens. Men in their 50s, 60s, and 70s develop stronger emotional color associations. Studies from the Journal of Social Psychology show that as men age, they respond more to colors tied to warmth, vitality, and trust, colors that evoke energy rather than youth. Women who adjust their palette unknowingly activate these signals. Women who don't unintentionally dull their natural presence even though their personality grows more vibrant. Then comes the breaking point, usually between 58 and 67. This is when the problem becomes visible literally. Many women begin noticing that strangers don't look up as often. They feel less seen, even when they take good care of themselves. This isn't about beauty, it's about perceptual visibility. The aging eye has a harder time detecting certain wavelengths of light, especially washed-out pastels, grays, and dusty neutrals. So when a woman over 60 wears these shades, she visually fades into her environment, especially outdoors or in dim lighting. Men don't overlook her intentionally, they simply don't perceive her with the same clarity. This is the moment when the stunning colors become crucial. But the fallout runs deeper than appearance. Women who feel invisible often withdraw socially, and the national poll on healthy aging shows that social disconnection increases health risks by up to 50%. Lifestyle tightens, confidence dips, and many women try the same failed fixes they heard for decades. Change your hairstyle, wear more makeup, dress younger. But these strategies miss the real root, the biological and psychological relationship between color and attention. So, what are these stunning colors that make men instantly notice women over 60? Not yet, because understanding why they work is more important than the colors themselves. First, the colors must create contrast that aging eyes detect easily. Deep jewel tones, for example, activate the cones in the retina more strongly in older adults. Rich sapphire blue, emerald green, and amethyst purple stand out in a way light tones never can. Second, the colors must enhance warmth. Research shows men respond emotionally to warmth because it signals approachability. This is why soft, glowing shades like coral, rose, and warm berry tones catch the eye instantly on mature skin. Third, the colors must signal vitality, not youth vitality. Clear, strong reds with a hint of warm tomato red, cranberry, deep poppy activate areas of the brain responsible for memory and attention. Women who wear these colors often notice men making eye contact sooner, smiling faster, or initiating small conversations without the woman saying a word. Not because the color makes her younger, but because the color makes her visible and emotionally resonant in a way that aligns with aging perception. So, how do you apply this today? Here are 3 direct actions. First, replace one neutral top with a jeweled tone you've never tried. Sapphire and emerald work on nearly every mature skin tone. Second, add one warm color accessory like a scarf, necklace, or shawl that sits close to your face. Even a single piece can create immediate visibility. Third, test your colors in natural light, not bathroom or store lighting. Older eyes need clarity, and natural day light reveals whether the color enhances your energy or drains it. But here's your evidence-based warning. Avoid wearing washed-out pastels or gray-beige greige near your face. Studies on color contrast sensitivity show that these tones visually disappear against aging skin, making facial expressions harder to interpret and reducing perceived presence by as much as 38%. And here's the thought I want you to hold until the next video. If the right colors can change visibility so instantly, what other small quiet adjustments could make the next decade of your life dramatically more powerful? If you want the next chapter where we break down the psychology behind each color and how men interpret them, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. The deeper answers are coming next.